What up, y'all? Welcome back to Pics. It didn't happen. I am Fats King. I am joined, as always, by my brother, the Yeti. I'm going to point. He's in one of those directions.
Hi, I'm this direction over here. Yeah.
This is some new shit we're playing with, and he's having too much fun pushing buttons. So if he stops talking, it's because he's being an amateur Jamie. This is not the Joe Rogan show.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it, but there's lots of cool buttons to push, so we're going to go on an adventure today.
Oh, ADD is not our friend. Today, we're joined by an extra special guest. This dude's name is everywhere right now. Whether you've heard his music, you have a t-shirt with one of his drawings on it, or you happen to tune in on Fridays and get your awesome Forever Face redrawn. We have Jonathan McLaughlin, otherwise known as Legion or LAW Legion Artworks. This is one we've been trying to get for a little while, brother. Say what's up.
What's up? What's up? It's your boy, Legion. Hi, guys.
Okay, so I'm not going to put numbers on this because, blech, who cares? But you were one of the biggest designers of merchandise / logos, fucking album covers, just all kinds of art for pretty much everybody right now.
I think the word's graphic design.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, man. I try my best to get out there. I appreciate the underground for being the kind of people who enjoy my artwork, want to keep me doing this. But yeah, basically, if you have an artwork need, I need money. We'll make it work. So I try to get out everywhere I possibly can.
That one right there sums it up, man. I need money. And
Yep.
So before we get into all of that, what was your first introduction into the underground music scene, horrorcore, whatever you want the term to call it?
I love this story because I was a little kid. I was like 11, 12-ish. And my brother was super into underground rap, just in general. I'm talking like everything underground rap. I had Tech 9 CD, like right when he first got started Strange Music. I had fucking a bunch of old ICP CDs, this is that, because I'd go and just steal them from my brother. And he moved on to being like a Bone Thugs and Harmony, like real hip hop head. And so all of those CDs just really became mine. Once you're listening to that kind of music, going to school with it in your CD player, you find the other kid who knows it, and he'll be like, oh, well, yeah, here's my fucking Ringmaster CD for your fucking Freak Show CD. And it just started to build from there, you know? Started young.
Nice. That's a lot of us all have a similar story to that. Usually it's some older figure, be it a brother, a cousin, some older homie, kicks it down to you like it's the dope that it is. Yep. And now you're hooked because the first one's free, little man.
Yep, that's exactly it, man. My brother got me hooked on the first rock of ICP, and then it's just opened my mind from there and expand.
I stole the sampler for Riddlebox from my brother. I believe it was Purple Tape. I can't remember. It's been years, but I definitely stole that. That was my first introduction.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah. So with this spitting your little brain out, like, what was your thoughts? Was this when you first got into this? Did you know that you wanted to be a rapper? Did you because that's the first hat we're going to talk about. You were a man of many hats.
We'll start with the music lane. As far as music is concerned, I was your traditional cringy juggalo rapper. I remember the day specifically. I was sitting in science class in high school, rapping twisted lyrics word for word like most juggalos do, and people around me were listening to me, and they didn't know what it was because fucking nobody else knew that shit. They said I sounded good, so I'd rap it like to them in like in the little common areas and shit at lunch. Slowly building my ego, get on the bus, other people are like, you know, hanging out, oh, rap for us, and then next thing you know, you can't just can't keep rapping twisted and ICP lyrics for these people. You start fucking writing shit down, and it wasn't very good, I'll admit, but it was the start. And then somebody links me to my first homie who has a studio like way out in the middle of the boondocks deserts area. And I fucking go there, and I'm like 14 at this time. I lay down my first tracks, and
where was this at? Where was this area?
I was born in Tucson, Arizona. I was raised in Marana, which is like a farming community just outside of Tucson. And in this massive farming community, fucking huge, I'm over here, travel all the way through the desert, and then other dude's over here in the middle of nowhere. I remember I owned a vehicle, but my buddy had the license. So he's driving my car for us to get out there because I don't drive. It was a really interesting experience. And dude, I think is still making music. Obviously not going very far like most cats out there from Marana, but I think he's still doing shit.
Okay, so you take this trek, you go out and you're in your first recording studio.
Yep.
What was your first thoughts? Like
I thought I was gonna be famous. I was so ego filled. I was jacked on naivety. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna record this, and then I'm fucking Psychopathic's gonna see it, and then all the bitches are gonna want my dick, and I'm gonna be fucking famous. It was like I was pure ego for the first 5 years of my career, man. I genuinely thought I was gonna be something, and the worst part is I was nothing. I started a movement locally in my area, a record label, and like people were getting it tattooed on them, and it was going places in my head and locally, but in the grand scheme of whatever it was nothing. You know, like now that I've done what I've done now, I could look back on it and be like, oh, that was like a drop in the bucket compared to what success is.
So what was the first time that you sort of got that smack in the mouth that maybe it wasn't what you thought it was?
Oh, okay. That's interesting. All right. Opening up for ABK and A&B, but they didn't show up. Well, they showed up and then told all of the openers that they weren't performing because the promoter fucked us over. So I go have to talk to the promoter, and this is my first time kind of as a kid. I'm probably like 17 at this time, not quite 18, having to deal with people. Maybe I was a little younger, but having to deal with like adults and them trying to punk me for money and me performing in the back of a dive bar with no sound. And the artists I look up to pretty much be like, yeah, your scene is trash, so we physically won't even perform here. And they said sorry. They were nice about it, pulled up in their van, saw all the juggalos in the face paint, apologized, and took off. And I was sitting there like, wow, Tucson underground hip hop is ass, and I am just the fly on the top of the shit pile.
Oh, what a painful fucking realization.
Oh yeah, man. But the cool part is you don't give up and you double down and you build. And I've re-evolved and revamped and rebranded so many times and have grown and learned from those experiences. I feel like that's the dues people have to pay, is have your fucking dream slapped out your mouth once or twice.
That's the thing. Some motherfuckers, they don't ever get that.
Yeah,
they just think that they're just going to coast through this, and in order for, like you just said, in order for you to really take this seriously, you had to get that kick in the dick once or twice. A good time. What was the day after? What was that feeling? Because you said, like you said, you knew you had to rebuild, but like, did you think that the cats you were with were going to come with you, or did you kind of feel like
that's a whole? I love that. I don't get to tell this story often, but basically the people I rolled with were actually gang banging, drug dealing pieces of shit. About more than half of them. And so I put myself in a very, very dangerous position where about 9 people looked at me and was like, you can't give this up because it's our dream. And they would have murdered me, literally. And I'm just a little kid, you know, I'm just like, I'm not the gang banging type, but I rolled with those kinds of people and they told me I couldn't give it up. And I didn't. I ran with it for another 2 years under this branding and this stuff until one of the guys has a Scarface level dream, starts selling cocaine and pulls a gun out on everybody and starts shooting and murdering members of my record label. And rest in peace, Flint. Yeah, that facts here. Like right up the street from me, all of this shit goes down. About half of them come to my house, and we're starting to give people rides, not knowing what's going on because cops are involved. And then we find out that Terrence killed Flint. Using real names here because it's all handled and past. Yeah,
that's all the past. Yeah,
it's all way in the past. But yeah, this dude Terrence straight fucking snapped. He was going to get jumped out of the record label because, again, they're all gangbanging fucks. And so they jumped him out the record label. He couldn't handle getting his ass beat. He's all blasted on coke, goes to his backpack, bop, 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 kills Flint, shoots fucking Brian, and gets other homie in the foot. And Flint straight dies. And that breaks the whole label up because people take sides because Terry was on the label. He has brothers on the label. They have their little thing. Then these people are related to Flint, and they're on the label. They have their thing. So it's just doof, doof, doof. And I'm caught in the middle, and I amicably, like, me and my buddy who started the label, we tell them it's closed. We shut the studio down. We deleted all the audios, and we walked away. And it's a horrible thing to say, but his death was my freedom.
God damn. Out of anything I thought she was about to tell me, that was not anywhere near fucking close. See, here's the thing. In this scene, there's a lot of posturing. There's a lot of I'm this, I'm that. There's a lot of people who wouldn't know what to do if real life bit them the way you just described.
Yeah.
And that's a thing. There's this level of believability that isn't necessary to be a horrorcore rapper. It kind of has to be a gangster rapper, but that's a different subject. I think the point that I'm getting is all these people are banging and saying they're a gangster, and this label is this, and this label will do that, and most of y'all are fucking paper soft. Yeah. So to hear this is fucking like this is different than the usual Juggalo rap fucking beef.
And I'm not even that guy. Like, I was the computer guy. I was the studio guy. I owned the equipment. I ran the house, and I surrounded myself with bad people. But I never actually did anything. And I will never try to front and be like, I'm some hard dude, because I'm not. And I just was in an environment. You know, Tucson is very notorious for its like high crime activity and lots of fucking drug use and all of that. And I chose to go from my country bumpkin area in Marana to move into the heart of Tucson and start a Juggalo rap label with a bunch of criminals. And again, that's why we were so big for a little while. And we were getting shows and doing shit, is because like everybody was connected and money wasn't an issue. But then it becomes an issue when like you realize this isn't where you want to be in life. And like I said, I was trying so hard to rebrand. I tried to ask so many different times to get out, and I legitimately felt trapped. The only person who really had my back in that moment was my brother, Fat Buds, Kyle Carroll. He was a super cool dude. We started rapping together. Those stories about me rapping, going to that studio in the desert, he was the guy driving. He was the dude rapping with me. It was a group, me and him. And he had my back, and it was weird, man. And then after everything fucking dissipated, me and him kept the rap group together and kept the equipment, but was like, we're never doing a label. We're never doing a movement. If we're going to stay in this music scene and try to stay relevant, it's me and you. And we did that like handshake, pat, fucking, we got each other moment. You know what I mean? And we also out for a few years.
You also turned it to where it was just music. This isn't this isn't drug dealing. This isn't 1% living. This is just music.
Just music, exactly. I shifted it to a very what I wanted out of it, because all I ever wanted was to make music. I'm one of those left brain artist people. So like when I found creativity and I could use that as a platform, I thought it was great. Like, and it was weird because it was my way to be a part of the Juggalo community too, because not all of them were gangbanging shitty people. There were some really good people out there who stayed fans, who came to shows, who were really awesome. And to this day, I know I changed some of their lives. Like, they'll message me and be like, so proud to see how far you've come. I remember riding with you back in the day. And I look at them and I see them clean, sober with kids. And I'm just like, fuck yeah, you know, you doing good too, you know?
That's fucking awesome. So you get away from this bad situation. You decide that it's it now. Are you going by Legion at this point?
Legion was just about to be born. At that time, I was going under the name Chronic Sack because I was a potheady hippie dude. I mean, fucking
yeah.
I was Chronic Sack, and my buddy Kyle was Fat Buds. And that's what we were. We were fucking Two Schizo Sounds was the record label, and the band's name was Drokin, Weed and Family. And so we did that, and I'm pretty sure we kept the band name Drokin, but I rebranded as Legion, and we dropped the Two Schizo Sounds completely, and we just kept running with that for a bit. It was interesting because like it's just me and him at that point, and like I ended up hooking up with this chick, moving in with her. He ends up getting this girl and getting a life started, and we just start making albums ourselves, but it's not really going anywhere. Like, it just, I don't know, because it didn't feel like it was, because there wasn't a massive movement pushing us anymore. And I was focusing online because I was a little bit ahead of the time on that, I feel like, compared to people in my scene, being online and being national is way more important than being the main dude in your city. Fuck being that guy. I would rather be
wise words.
I'd rather be number fucking 96 on the top 100 nationally than number 1 in my city, because nobody gives a fuck about that guy
at all. Yeah. And it's a crown made of paper mache. When you wear it, you look like an idiot. I see these people like, I'm the king of this, I'm the king of that. All right, step 10 fucking miles outside of your local radius.
Yeah.
I bet nobody shows up.
Yeah. I feel like that's the same with every ego in the world in every genre, though. You are the king of your playground, and the minute you step out of your playground, you're nobody. Because you could go, like, try to go to a ska show and tell them about your favorite underground rapper. They're going to look at you like you're an idiot. They're like, I don't give a fuck about whoever, because they don't give a shit, you know? And when I was touring, that's like jumping a little forward, but when I started touring, I started noticing and realizing that more, because I'm out there in the world and I see everybody's trying to be king shit of their pond, but treating me super important because I'm on the road. You know? It was really interesting.
Well, so what was your first tours like when you really got out there and started seeing the country?
Yeah, let's see here. We're fast forward a little bit. Drokin breaks up. I start doing solo Legion stuff. And Legion, push, man. And I get signed to Murder Music as Legion, and I start getting pushed by the labels and yada, yada, yada. And then me and my buddy end up linking up and starting the group I'm in now, W. And W's the only band I've ever actually toured with. We got like 4 or 5 tours under our belt.
I love the name, by the way.
Yeah, I like it too. Now that it's spelled out. Our first tour, we branded it as a letter, and you can't do that. Try to type W, just the letter, into Google and find me. That's not going to happen. That's not how autocorrect and algorithms work. So I was dumb. We rebranded as the long format later, but we'll get to that. So our first tour was ass, man. We toured with this dude Sticky from Knuckleheads, and we hopped in a fucking hippie van, and half the shows were empty, and we slept at a river, like with a fire to keep us warm because we didn't have hotel money. And it was pretty much like bottom of the it reminded me of, again, just like that slap in the face moment where it's not all it's cracked up to be. But only our first tour was like that. Every other tour after that was fucking amazing. We did one with Whitney Payton, we did one with Razakel, we did one with Cryptic Wisdom. All of these people really put us in a position where we had shows, like real shows, full of people that are now our fans, some of them for life, like true fans, because I got to rock their little dive bar, you know? And I always recommend anyone who's listening who's an up-and-coming artist, find a way to get a tour buy on. Fuck what people say about pay to play. Like, there's no way to get on a tour without fucking paying. Get your buy on, see the world. See the fucking world. See your fans. Make new fans. Have that experience, because there is nothing like it in this world than going out there as a musician and doing that. And even if you're not fucking, your stage show isn't super polished, work on that. Polish that shit up. Get it tour ready. Save up a little bit of money and at least do it once. Because if you don't, and you're a rapper and you get to go your whole life without seeing the world, it's not really worth it, you know?
I've never understood why there was such a stigma behind the whole pay to play thing. It's understood you have to spend money to make money, and this is just the absolute.
That's and you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's the fact of the world, man.
Yeah, it really is. Like everything costs money. Like, you can't just like, oh, I'm just gonna go and.
Everybody wants to be like, I'm so cool that you booked me because I'm cool. Right, I'm so cool that you did a feature with me because I'm cool. And I don't fucking get that, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Anybody who's that cool paid to get there. Every single person who was in the position, who was in the position to charge a bunch and have people coming at them, had to pay to get on at some point. Like, let's just shift this away from rap to me and artwork for a second. I get paid to do artwork all the time. When I started, I was giving out free artwork. And that's basically me wasting money and time just in hopes that somebody will share my art and other people will see it, and then I'll get paid. And that's what buying onto a tour is it's investing in your brand. After a few tours, the third slot became easier because we had other tours vouching for us. It became cheaper. And then we also had experience, so we could be like, yeah, D will be your fucking driver. We'll help with tour managing, and me and him will both be a roadie. So that cuts like $1,000 off of the fucking buy-on because we're willing to be employees now. And you learn that concept by doing it, and we wouldn't have done it if we didn't pay, you know? Or if we gave up after that first shitty one, because we paid for that one too. It just didn't turn out, you know what I mean? And if we would have been like, oh, this is tour life, fuck this, and never went back, we wouldn't have half the fans, half the fucking anything we have today.
See, and that's what's amazing. There's so many people that want to talk about how things should be done and why don't they get paid, and you support these people, and they want to complain about all the things that you're doing with your money, but they don't really even understand how money works. So I guess my question is, why do you think there's that whole mentality that it's not about money, it's about something else? It's never the money. They never care about money.
Ego, man. The thing is, and this is how I make my money, is the rap industry is the highest ego-driven industry that I've ever been in. Everybody wants themselves to be the most important. That's how you get up, stand in a studio that you built yourself, and rap your shitty lyrics to your 3 fans and keep going, is ego. And these people's ego stop them from making proper financial decisions. That's why half of really successful people at a point in time have their money guy, have their yes man, their person, because that person has no ego and they can manage this ego and push them in lanes. But if you're just one dude, you make these poor financial decisions because of ego. You'll get offered a slot on a tape and you won't buy it because you think you're worth it, or you'll be having a buzz and you'll have a big person be like, hey, tour buy-on's $2,000, and you'll be like, I'll never do that, you should be paying me. That offer for that $2,000 buy-on spot doesn't go to everybody. That goes to you because you have a name. So if you're going to let your ego get in the way of that, you're never going to be anything. And I've seen so many people in the scene kill their career because of their ego and think they're the shit because they block everybody else and have their 1,000 fans sucking their dick every day. And they block everybody who has a negative opinion about them. And they just think they're the best because their ego makes them that way. But they've never done shows. They've never done tours. They don't sell shit for merch. And
I've been told by certain cats that they only listen to themselves.
Oh, man. You fucking won't find me. I have to be around fans or people I make music with for me to want to listen to my music. Like, it's got to be the guy I made the track with and him be like, hey, you want to listen to the track we made? And I'll be like, yeah, sure. For me to want to listen to my music.
Is there a better example of farting in your hand and smelling it?
Yeah. It's such a fucking Kanye move, man, where you're just like, I'm God. I'm the greatest. Let's bump my music on the way to the club and then my music at the club. No. No.
Okay, before we switch to the art tip, because that's a lot to talk about too, what are some do's and don'ts you can tell young artists coming up? I know we've covered a few, but let's just bear this out.
All right. Obviously, first, number one, check your ego, guys. Network as much as humanly possible. Be human. Go to shows. Be a fan. Support other people. Like, being humble and supporting other people has carried a lot of really successful people's careers, not even myself. Like, other people just being humble and, network, and never give up on your dream. Even if you suck, it's nice seeing people who suck out there. Just never give up on your dream, guys. Work on your craft, polish what you do, and, never settle for less than what your greatness is.
Can I add another one? Because this is something that I see a lot of people make, and it goes with networking. If you are an opener, don't fucking leave after your set.
Yeah, 1,000% on that one, guy. I fucking co-sign that 1,000%. Stay. Because your fans leave if you leave. The show ends up dying and everybody... I've been on tour. I've seen it. People leave and me and the tour package are in the back writing names down of people we're not booking again. You will lose slots. You will lose connections if you're that guy. Listen to Fat. He knows what he's talking about.
I'd like to believe I know a little bit about a little bit, but so
stop feeding his ego, please.
I believe is it can you have an ego when you have such a shitty sense of self-esteem?
Yeah. Self-deprecation and an ego, man, that's my life.
Kind of, yeah. Okay, so the next thing you've expanded into is you have taken the art world by storm, and I'm not going to say that things happened the way they did, but there was a bit of a vacuum left, and you have just fucking filled it, bro.
Oh, I will actually address that directly. 8legs a few years back said he wasn't taking on commissions, like one of the first times he finally stopped taking on commissions, and he tagged my page personally, my Jonathan McLaughlin page, and said, if you need any artwork, hit him up directly. And that's pretty much how I keep business afloat. Jacob is a fucking friend, a mentor, and probably the biggest benefactor to Legion artwork because he did that.
That's fucking awesome. I didn't want to put words to it. You just did, so I didn't have to.
I got you.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's an amazing human being, has always been an amazing human being to me, taught me things. Anytime I had questions, I reached out to him personally. We've collabed on a project, which today is my best-selling project on any store I've ever owned. Anytime I open up a web store, I load up the project me and 8legs did, top seller every time. He's such a cool dude. But yeah, basically he created the vacuum and then put my name out there. And he only did it that one time, but that's all he needed to do. Because now, like you say, I'm an entity. I'm known. I'm, and a lot of that's just work. I always book. I try to book weeks in advance and just constantly work on top of the promotion I do, drawing people's faces. Today, I'm doing a live stream later on my fucking Legion Artwork channel, drawing someone's face because I'm constantly trying to do that to show new people what my style is. But artwork is just who I am. I've always wanted to sell art. I remember being like 5 years old in kindergarten, drawing things on paper and trying to sell them to people so I could get Sararito money. And I was like, here you go. Like, you want to buy this smile now, cry later picture? I'll draw your name on it.
Look at this little hustler.
Man.
You've been working from the beginning.
But I've always, and that's why when I always shout this out. Shout out to my mother-in-law, Julie. She personally is the reason why I go graphics full time, because 8legs put a lot of business in my pocket, but I still had a day job. And my mother-in-law is a entrepreneur. She used to drive buses, and she's now like a fucking multi-million-dollar real estate agent. And she told me, she's like, all you have to do is believe in yourself. I believe in you. You're talented. If there's any help you need along the way, any advice, and she's all like, I want you to quit your job and do graphics for a year and see what happens. And so I quit my job, I do graphics, and I've been doing it full time ever since.
That's just more examples of just betting on your fucking self, man.
Yeah, man. You really got to sometimes.
Yeah, so, I mean, a lot of times they say the only way you can ever really succeed is just putting yourself where it succeed or, drown and die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me every fucking day. Rent's got to get paid. Food's got to get put in the fridge. Kids got to be happy. So every single day I wake up and I know I got to plug in. You can't see with the camera, but right here's my tablet and I'm drawing on that bitch every day.
So when you started looking at, so you're doing the rapping, you're doing the drawing, and did you immediately think I can make my own merch? I can do my own art album covers. Like, did you see that was immediately a cost-cutting corner?
Oh yeah, well, because my entire, like, even before I did it full time, I stole Photoshop and pirated that shit at a young age, and I've always designed the artwork for everything I've done. If you go back on my personal page and look up really old Photoshop shit, that's me. I did that. I've always been doing it for myself because I wouldn't say I've never paid anyone else. There's probably been about 5 times in my entire life I've spent money on somebody else's talent to do artwork for me. But other than that, it was just do it yourself, save that money. And I respect people who I've given out my programs. I've taught people, sent videos to people, clients. So, and they're no longer clients because they do their own work now. And I would prefer that because I'd rather people make what they want than me make money off of them not being capable. Now, if you're not capable, come to me, pay me. Hell yeah, I'll take your money. But if you're partially capable, stand on your own 2 feet. It really helps.
Well, that's something else, though. You give a leg up to all of these people who, like you just said, aren't capable of drawing. Like, I can't draw a fucking stick figure. The thing you whipped up for us, I'm not going to show any pictures, but god damn, chef's kiss. My point is that you providing this service and doing it at a pretty decent price is really giving a lot of artists, a lot of podcasts, a lot of everybody. You're giving us something we haven't really had. And it's an access to really, really professional fucking quality work.
Yeah, that's the space I try to fill. I don't try to raise my prices too high. I stay up to date on my craft. I have Adobe Illustrator 2022, Photoshop 2022. I constantly keep that updated so I can keep formats at the highest quality and highest resolution possible for anyone who's coming to me, because because I do work for big labels. I'm subcontracted with MNE and I have worked with them. And I work with the smallest people possible, Twitch gamers, podcasters, fucking people who just want a tattoo. If you're just a normal human being and your tattoo guy's charging you too much for the design, but we'll do a tap out session, I'll fucking design the design for you and you can go have your tap out session. You know, like I will fill any void. I'm a whore when it comes to artwork. You just pay me and I'll stick it in there. You know what I mean?
Jesus, that's a really, really refreshing mindset, because a lot of these people, and I can't say names because I don't know them all, but a lot of people, they think of their art as it's theirs, but you look at it as more you yourself, you look at it as an extension of how to push and promote you, whereas other people is just, this is a single piece of art. You know what I mean?
I always thought that was weird. People's crazy obsession, like the artist brain is obviously very complex and dynamic. Look at art in general, but the artist that like prizes their art like it's a possession and values it to this degree that is absurd. I had a mentor as a child who would do that. He would paint on glass and it was fragile and it would always break and he'd be so sad, but he'd never be able to move his pieces because he'd charge like $600. And it's just like puff paint on glass. And is it amazing? And is it beautiful? Yeah. But like, if you took that to a digital medium, you could put it on a t-shirt, sell it to thousands of fucking people for less money, but you would make more. Like, why would I try to sell you one shirt that I made for $1,000 when I could sell 1,000 people a shirt for $1? The likelihood of me selling those 1,000 shirts are higher. That's just economics and just figuring that out. And maybe it's that part of my brain, my little like hustler mindset, being raised around all those drug dealers and gangsters, but I can't not make money. So if I'm sitting there on art, like that's dumb. So I just I was like, I said, rappers have an ego. So it started drawing people's faces. Hey, rapper guy, you want to look like a cartoon? Cool. $20. And you just go from there. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling at this point.
No, but that's cool though. So how did you come up with the Forever Face Friday? Because that was my actual first real interaction with you.
I've been a huge supporter of LLE and Axe for a very long time. There's fan art I did and stuff like that. And I would draw their forever faces, like, because that's all they have, you know what I mean? So I draw their faces and stuff, and I got good at it and I thought it looked cool. And I was like, fuck, this is a really big part of the underground community that I know a good chunk of and are personal friends with a good chunk of. And then the other ones, how do I get to know them? How do I get to like interact with these people? Because you guys, Zooligans are the fucking coolest. Like, it reminds me of what Juggalos used to be, and it gave me hope. And I was like, I would love to interact with people more, and how can I do that? And I was like, I've had certain people pay me to draw their forever faces for art and stuff, and I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to give back to the community. And I was all like, what day should I do it? Friday, because fucking Stan Lee taught me that if you make letters sound the same, it sounds good. Yep. Forever Face Friday. J. Jonah Jameson, you know what I'm saying?
You'd be surprised how many of those there are in Marvel. We could go through that.
Oh man, dude, that's what I'm saying. But that's what taught me that shit. I was like, I love stuff like that, and so I was like, got to do it on Friday, and then I just put it out there in the community, and it blew up. People just started posting their forever faces, and it was hard to like pick because I thought I was going to have like 3 to pick from. No, it was like fucking 15, 20 some each time. So I got this little app on my phone. I always picture my phone in my hand. It's not in my hand, but I got this little app, and you hit a button and it spins, and it's like a little thing. So I put everybody's name in as quick as I could before the drawing was done. And then I'd spin, it'd pull up a name, I'd look for their comment, and I'd save their shit, and then I'd start it. And I thought it was cool because it's a way for me to practice as well. Sometimes you can get rusty if you don't like stay on top of your line work. And all Forever Face Friday is really detailed line work with all the crevices and stitches, and it's really fun.
That's fucking cool. And it's cool that you've also taken it in a practical direction for you. We talk to so many people, and there are sometimes I don't get the proper answer to this. How do you sharpen your craft as a rapper, as an artist, as whatever you're doing?
It's not just doing it. It's that old saying where practice makes perfect. No, because if you're fucking an idiot and you keep spitting dumb bars over and over again, or you keep doing shitty line work because your program's fucked up, doing it a million times isn't going to get you better. You have to study other better people. Go to YouTube, study that shit. Listen to other rappers and try to figure out their cadence. Find something greater than yourself. And that's where you really got to check your ego, because if you think you're the next fucking Gandhi on the microphone and think you're the fucking beast with a pen, you're not going to try to improve yourself. And so many people get caught in that. And it's there's this thing called the Dunning-Kruger effect. Anyone listening to this podcast, look it up. But basically it's a special type of bell curve where people who think they know stuff are idiots. And once you know a lot, your ability starts to shift because you doubt yourself. Like me, for example, I went through this. I thought I was good because I wasn't. And then when I had knowledge under the concept of what rap was, I realized how bad I was and started to improve. But that moment you start it really checks your ego, because you have to realize you suck. The minute you learn more about whatever craft you're trying to do is the minute you learn how much you suck at it. And if you're not willing to make that leap, you'll never get better. And most people stay right before that on the curve, where they think they know everything, but they don't. And that's why they think they're awesome. But the minute you actually know everything, you realize you don't, and you have to improve. I believe I got that right though. Dunning-Kruger effect.
I'm pretty sure you nailed it.
Yeah.
That is, psychology is such a weird, fucked up universe. I only took one college credit course in it, so I don't believe I know a fucking thing. Yeah. But just the different ways the brain functions is so fucking weird.
You're telling me, dude, I'm technically brain damaged. I had an 8-inch spike shoved into the back of my skull when I was an infant. If I could show it on screen, there's like a big old fucking blop in the back of my skull. Okay,
I want to move on, but now I got to know what the fuck.
Yeah, man. I have hippie parents, and they don't believe in buckles, and they also believe in having ghetto-ass cars. So there was a piece of metal sticking out of the bottom of the floorboard of my van, and my dad goes whipping and dipping, and my little baby ass goes vloop, and right in the back of my head. I am blessed and cursed. I have like a super high IQ, but I'm also like not fully capable in other areas. That's why I don't drive. I'm like a Rayman type, but not born that way, made that way.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
let's roll.
That is, wow.
Yeah.
You are I was gonna say you were a fucking hodgepodge of different fucking things, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
So, in moving on with we're doing this for Halloween. We've been asking everybody, what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh man, fucking A. I am a really, really, really big fan of those shitty Twizzlers. They come in the 2-pack. They're usually like extra gummy because I love gummy candy.
Those are awesome.
Sometimes they get hard and shit, but like when they're not, they're like gummy Twizzlers, dude. And it's Twizzler brand, but when you go and buy the big pack, they don't fucking taste like the 2 little packs on Halloween. So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I will snag every one of those I possibly can from my kids' bags and trade them for like real candy that they want. And I'll be like, just give me all the gummy Twizzlery boys, because those are heaven.
I feel like we're going to get surprised by some of these answers we got. We've already gotten, like, we had somebody actually throw out the old fucking brown and orange Mary Janes.
What?
Yeah, right. Right. We're talking shit about you, Dean.
Yeah, I'm heavily disappointed with a
that's
lot of
Dean?
the things
Like,
that
that's
have
Dean.
been put out.
Oh, he's my brother. I fucking love Dean. Shout out Dean.
That's our
Your
pick, God.
candy
We love that
choice is
motherfucker, but his choice in candy sucks.
Terrible.
Well, the point of this is at the end of the middle of October, maybe the middle of it, at the end of it, he and I are going to try everybody's favorite candy plus ours and some ones we've thrown in on the other thing. And I already know which ones are going to suck, but we're going to pick which one's the best.
Yeah, in like some kind of tournament or game or something entertaining because,
Basically, this is just going to boil down to us eating shit candy.
Yeah.
Paul, you got any one of your weird ass fucking questions you want to ask before I get a few more?
Why they got to be weird ass questions?
Because you're the one that makes them weird ass.
Come on, hit me with a weird ass question.
I think they're pretty normal. Thank you very much.
You would, because you're weird.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. So, fuck. Now you got me on the spot here. You're gonna finger gun me. You're gonna.
That's the point. That's the point. That's the point.
All right. Well, so let's see. Random question. My stupid questions.
He's gonna have to edit all of this.
Oh, I will too. I hate you so much.
Do you want me to steal one from you?
No. Okay, yeah. So we've talked about a lot of different things that you do because it seems you do damn near everything. Right. So what about in the area of film? Is there any movie that really shaped a core element of who you are?
Yeah, man. Very laxed hippie parents, like I said. So I had access to a bunch of VHSs at the age that I shouldn't have had access to them. So around the age of 8 or 9, I saw the movie Heavy Metal.
Yes.
Old acid trippy fucking I watched that for about a week straight. That probably influenced why I'm an artist like I am. And then the other movie that's right up there with it, because I probably watched it for like a month straight, was Pulp Fiction. And I'm watching these at like 8, 9. They were a big influence of who I am and the kind of movies I watch now. And I would just sit there in front of that shit fucking right to the end of the credits, then rewind that bitch and hit play again and watch the whole thing, just trying to figure out what the fuck am I watching? Please, just like child brain, like concept. And I go back now like, wow, I saw that as a kid. Fuck. Wouldn't show that to my kid.
And therein proves that you are better on the parent side.
Yeah. Learn from the mistakes of the past. Yeah.
Okay. If you had an action figure, what would the accessories be?
Okay. If me personally, obviously it would be just like a normal looking dude. And then the beanie would be the accessory, right? And then he'd have like a pin, and then he'd have a fucking bottle of Crown Royal and like a big old fucking jar of medical marijuana. And then shitty house slippers. That would be right there at the bottom. It would be me all broken down, and then those would be on the side as my little dink, 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 dinks.
Most everybody's inclusions have been some form of marijuana, but I realize who I'm talking to.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's what I do. I've always been into partaking. I'm from Tucson, Arizona originally, and I started when I was like 11, and I haven't quit puffing since I was 11. So it's a big part of my life. I'm one of those people who genuinely believe it's like a
magical plant. Yeah,
like, no. It's like, I wouldn't say it's magical. It's definitely smoking. It's bad for your lungs. It doesn't cure cancer, but it makes me creative. I like mind opening and expanding things. I take shrooms and stuff like that.
Yep, me too.
But like, I smoke to stay creative. It's easier to draw people's faces when I'm blitzed.
This is very true. So if you could collab with any artist, and you could also put this into artistic as well, not just music. If you could collab with any artist, living or dead, right now, who would it be?
Okay, dead music wise, fuck, man. I'm gonna hit you with some sentimental shit. You know that guy Fat Buds I was telling you about that I grew up with? He's dead. So if I could make music, I'd make another song with him.
Oh, that's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
I know, man. Truly, if I really could, I would move heaven and earth to make another song with that guy.
That's awesome,
man. And as far as graphics goes, I don't know if you know this dude. His name's Dan Mumford. he's one of the people 8legs looks up to, and he put me onto him. He creates really, really cool fucking artwork and does shit for like Iron Maiden and all kinds of crazy stuff. But Dan Mumford, if you see this, I doubt you fucking will, buddy, but if you see this, your biggest fan, and I'd love to work with you. You are a god amongst men when it comes to graphic design.
That is dope. All right, bro.
I have to ask this one question. How does one end up being friends with one that is such as Mr. 8legs?
Oh God.
He seems to have quite an aggressive personality, that one there.
I have never met him in person. I have only talked to him through social media. So, to make it real clear, I love him to death, but I have only communicated through Messenger, and it's always been about work stuff. He's a mentor. You know what I mean? And that's what I mean as a friend, because he doesn't have to take time out of his day to fucking teach me shit, but he did.
That was unexpected. Thank you for that. Jesus Christ, Paul. So
he must have been out of cigarettes.
Hey, we've been lucky enough to conversate with this man in person, and it's more kayfabe than people want, but just don't approach him.
Yeah.
Don't hug him from the front. I'm telling you.
Oh God, stop quoting Adams. Anyway, so where can they find you on this whole vast ocean of social media?
All right, let's see here. My main page, Jonathan McLaughlin. It usually has either a picture of me in this beanie or a foot. Right now, it's a foot. Legion artwork on my like page. I have a YouTube channel, Legion artwork there. My IG is I'm with Legion, and also Legion artwork on that. So Legion artwork pretty much everywhere. Got pretty good branding. My band is WDOUUBLE space YOU. It will correct you to a Euro pop punk band from like the 80s or whatever who spells it with one U. Fuck those guys. We will. You can look me up all there. Again, I have a couple of merch stores and stuff, but that's all hooked up through a link tree. So check out me there on my main pages, and I can shoot you a link tree. Reach out to me. I'm a human being. I love talking to people. I love my fans. If any fans are seeing this and you think of me as some big, crazy, important person, I'm not. My name's Jonathan. Hit me up. Let's chat. You know what I mean? And yeah.
It's been a very easy transition, especially if you want to be a client.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. Like, I love making friends with my clients. Like, I love that. The minute you like start working with me, I love keeping up on your social media. And like, if you're like having a bad day, I'll reach out and stuff like that. I really genuinely care. Like I said, I'm a person. I'm not an ego. I learned that the hard way.
All right. This is something new I've been working on, and you're going to be the prototype for this.
Uh-oh.
Leave them with a quote.
Oh, shit.
If you shake more than twice, you're playing with it.
That's all I fucking need. I cannot thank you enough for doing this. When we reached out to you, like you said, you're a normal person, but I'm the networking guy. That's what I do, and it has been fucking so smooth, this transition in talking and dealing with you, and it's been a pleasure, and I appreciate the fuck out of that, because sometimes this shit is like pulling teeth.
The honor, pleasure, and privilege is all mine, good sirs. Both of you are legends in my book, and I would gladly be on any podcast you guys have at any point in time. I'm free 24/7, and working with you guys is truly an honor.
God damn.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
Now that we're done blowing each other, you
but
can
it feels
find,
so good.
I'm not putting anything else at the end of that. You can find us on YouTube at Pixar It Didn't Happen. You can find us on Instagram at Pixar It Didn't Happen official, because for some fucking reason somebody had our name. Fuck those guys, since we're throwing fuck yous. Since we're throwing fuck yous out there.
Everybody, you get one. You get one.
It's like Oprah, bitch. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook as Fats King. All I do is share memes and promote my podcast. So if you want something useful, I'm not your guy.
And I don't like post ever on my page. I just creep around and be all creepy. So
all we ever do is tell them all they need to search Paul, but nothing else.
Good luck.
First I even knew about you existing is when he had me draw your face. I was like, there's more people? Okay. I thought it was just that. There's more guys. All right.
No, there's more. But yeah, so that's it, motherfuckers. I don't got anything else. We appreciate y'all being here. Tune in every Thursday. We are like clockwork and shit.
Thursdays.
A broken ass clock, but you know.
It's right twice a day, motherfucker.